Shane Lamb is the owner, potter, and teacher at the La Crosse Clay Center. The center is part gallery, part studio, and part education center. Shane shares his past and process of starting the business. He also touches on his process when creating new pottery and his teaching philosophy when offering workshops and classes. I'm Amy, and he's Brent, and this is La Crosse Local.
My name is Shane Lamb. I'm from Sparta, Wisconsin, so just a stone's throw away. I became really interested in pottery in 2003, 2004. I was in high school. I didn't really like any of school, but it kind of grabbed my attention more than any other subject did. So I got kind of addicted to it. You know, there's just so much more feel to it than there is anything else. And when you go, you have your reading class, you have your math, and it's like, yeah, you might have a good grade or something, but there's no tangible feeling or, I mean, some people might, but for me, there wasn't. But clay, there was so much more feel to it. It's a challenging process, but there's a lot of small victories that kind of push you along a lot more than any other subject that I had dealt with. It's like a new adventure every time. But that kind of is what made me really grab pottery and run with it.
The La Crosse Clay Center, it's part gallery, part studio, and kind of a part education center.
I wanted to kind of run it like a membership-based educational place. The gallery is maybe 20% of it, not even probably. The majority of it is teaching. That's kind of what pays the bills. So I wanted to make it a place where people can come in and continuously learn, to grow. And, hopefully that grows the culture in the area for pottery, because it's never been the best pottery sales area. I figured if we can build a culture that way. So I kind of run it as like anytime snap fitness kind of a thing, where you get a fob, you buzz in the back door when you want, the lights come on when you work, everything's on camera in case something happens, and then, you leave and the lights turn off after you're gone.
So I've seen some of your live streams of when you guys are firing pots and things like that. What is your process when creating new work yourself?
Oh, man. Well, again, the teaching and probably the memberships are what pay the bills. So, I don't get a lot of making time when it comes to new stuff. It's kind of like teaching and then mugs and bowls. Like mugs and bowls sell, so kind of have to spend a lot of time doing that. But every once in a while I get to mess around and create some more fun things. And I guess when that kind of happens, I just go for something. Just eventually when I'm making something, I can see where I want it to go, or I can see where I want to go with the next one. So, you'll make 5 to 10 of something. Each one that you do a little bit different, you take your favorite thing out of that and you add it to the next one, kind of build off that. If I'm doing any kind of sculptural work, I'll just grab a block of clay and just start moving it around until I see something. And sometimes I don't. And then I just have a hunk of clay that looks weird, but they can be fun too.
So is there any technique or anything that you've been recently kind of working with? You talk about there's continuous movement and taking one thing to the next. Is there any sort of style that you go after? Or?
I've never really confined myself to a style. Pretty much more whatever I have to make, I make. At first, a lot of people will try and get a style, or they'll pick their favorite potter and they'll run with just one style. And I think that kind of puts you, I don't know if the right term is, it kind of pigeonholes you. You kind of get stuck looking at one person's work, and I think that you should look at everyone's work. Grab pieces so that you can kind of make your own, or, fall in love with a bunch of different things and then never have a style like me.
I've taken a class with you before, a workshop. What is your teaching philosophy when offering workshops and classes to groups?
I'm a firm believer that anyone can learn this process. Anyone can get good. Some people are going to start out with a little bit better motor skills, like their brain and their hands are a little bit more connected. But I'm 100% believe that I can teach anybody how to do this. And that's just because, if you do the right steps, I mean, there's other ways. When you learn how to do it, you can get good at different hand positions and stuff. But for the most part, I think that if you learn it in the right way, I can teach anyone how to do it. It's a skill, and then you can turn it into an art. People shouldn't be intimidated by calling it creativity or art. The biggest thing people say when they come in here and they think about a class is they say that they're not creative and they're not good at art. Clay is neither at first. It's a skill. It's a craft. You have to learn it, and then you take an idea and you use the skills that you learned and you turn that idea into art.
For those that want to do a workshop with just their family, unfortunately it is the times with COVID. Can people sign up with you just to, have 5 people come in and work with you directly in a safe environment?
Yeah. Right now we pretty much do, classes by appointments. We do a half or an hour and a half class. It's $35 per person. Everything's included. And I teach you the basics from start to finish on the wheel. So you learn how to make at least the basics on a wheel, and then you just hope it holds water. You got to run with small victories. So, and if it doesn't, you turn it into a planter. But most people end up with a couple of pots and runs through the kilns. Then they take them home and they're food, oven, microwave, dishwasher safe.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you would like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Locals. Subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We thank you for it.